What's happening, gamers? It's Kamiya05 live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. Now, there was an article that came out today that was basically giving an indication of how many Xbox Ones has been sold. Of course, this is not set in stone because Microsoft does not release numbers anymore. Excuse me. And so basically what this is basically what we just have to go by. It's a barometer, and it makes sense. It seems to be legit. So it's around 35 million. And of course, you have those that look at this as a doom and gloom scenario and that Microsoft is about to turn it in, because compared to the numbers of what the PlayStation 4 is selling, it is definitely night and day. But the sales of what the PlayStation 4 has, where they're at right now, it's an aberration. It's not to saying this is not legit, because people have bought this console. It is the #1 selling console. But the fact of it is that this is not like going to be the future of every iteration of a PlayStation that we see. It's just not going to happen. The PlayStation 2 had a longevity to it that no other console has ever had. I think maybe even the first NES had a really long run because people still bought them and they were still in rotation, but nothing like the PlayStation 2. Well, the rapid speed of how many people are buying PlayStation 4s is never been done for a console, and so or for a gaming device, and it's really good, because if you go back to what all the pundits were talking about in the 2013, they were basically saying that console gaming was almost out the door, cell phone gaming was the future, PC gaming was the future, and consoles were going away with the dinosaur. Well, as you see, all of the consoles are doing really well. Nintendo is even showing a strong showing right now. But the reason why I made this video is to give, of course, the side of the story, which is the facts, and give an indication of why this isn't a bad look for Xbox. And for so many that will tell you otherwise because of the difference in how many are sold between the two, all you got to just go back to is in May 28th of 2009 and see where its predecessor, the Xbox One predecessor, the 360, was at this time. And if you go back to that, look it up, it's right there, plain as day. On May 28th, 2009, Microsoft announced that sales had surpassed the 30 million unit mark, stating that in 2008 was Microsoft's biggest year to date, also due to the increase of Xbox Live users. Now, if you go back when the Xbox 360, which is the much more popular console compared to the Xbox One, that's a 4-year span. This is a 4-year span, and the numbers are better for the Xbox One than there is for the Xbox 360, which is crazy because of the fact that the 360 is the more popular console. There's no doubt about it. But if you go by the trend, when Microsoft was saying this from the very beginning, when the Xbox staff was saying that, look, the Xbox One is surpassing sales of our predecessor, and they weren't lying, and they're still doing it. So if these numbers are accurate, 35 million compared to 30 million, or maybe 31 million, they are surpassing. It's slight, but it's still surpassing. And if you go back and just think about in 2013 to the 2-year span of 2013 to 2015, Xbox was almost looked like it was dead, because there were nobody that was wanting to give the console any love except for the few people from BGST, me, and other YouTubers that were out there that were basically just saying, look, hey, I'm an Xbox fan. It was almost taboo to say it back in 2014 for sure. So to look at where the Xbox was on 2013, to look at it where it's now, and to be better than its predecessor, which is the more popular console, that's saying something. You have to give it up to the Xbox staff for what they're doing. And I definitely understand that Xbox has to show a lot of strong support for AAA titles or exclusives from Microsoft. But let's just be honest here. A lot of people, regardless of how E3 or even what's going to be shown or what's going to be released before E3 or even this year, it's still not going to meet other people's expectations, because as long as Xbox will kill it, and we know that Xbox has had the better E3s for the last 3 years, but the fact of it is that the narrative will always change, and there will be people that will follow that narrative because they just don't want to see anything positive happening with the Xbox brand. So, in all other words, there's still positive things going. The Xbox One X will probably go down. It's probably the best Xbox product and the most beloved Xbox product that's ever been made. And once that price goes down at the end of the year, it's only going to sell even more. So I think that the future, I don't think, but I know that the future is bright. So for anybody that's having this doubt and thinking that Xbox is in a bad situation because of the 35 million, I would say think again, because at any moment, everything could shift. Just because of how the future of gaming, we don't really know how it's going to play out here in the future. And for so many people that wants to think that the saving grace of the PlayStation 5 is going to make things better, or it's going to make the gap even further, then I think they got another thing coming with that as well, because if they don't do or incorporate backwards compatibility whatsoever, then they're going to alienate their gamers. There are not going to be a lot of players, especially that has already purchased a Pro for $400 and going to jump and get another $500 console, because if the PlayStation 5 is going to be a $400 console, then it's going to be a lot further down the line than just next year. Having more options for gamers it's always the best bet. And also with Xbox incorporating backwards compatibility, and for whatever new console that will be coming after the X, all of your games are going to go with that. That's a huge selling point. The more users that you have on these games, the more money that will be incorporated into the company. Now, yeah, having 80 million consoles out there and you having a lot of people playing on the PlayStation 4, yeah, it will generate a lot of money as well. But where the real money is into the software aspect of it, and for microtransactions or services, as people look at it. I mean, just look at games like Grand Theft Auto. It's a service. It's a very popular game. It is the third best selling game of all time. So of course, it's generated so much money, it's ridiculous. That's where the angle that Microsoft is trying to go. And look, single player experiences, if they don't have a lot of DLC or a lot of microtransactions to where you can get different outfits, things like that, then those games are going to only make so much money. So it is to say whatever it is. I mean, it's great for gamers to have all of these options coming from all of these different console companies. But the fact of it is that just don't sleep on Xbox, because when you're thinking that it's all over, it's not. We all slept on Nintendo, and look how well Nintendo is doing. So it's just food for thought and just a discussion. I would definitely like to hear your thoughts about it. Everybody have a good one.